Hey everybody, my name's Ed. Okay, so we're going to do another random comics walkthrough. So this one's going to be The Punisher Presents Barracuda, issue 3 of 5. And this is from 2008, 9? 2007, from 2007. Okay, so it's part of Marvel's Max series or Max line. This is a line they put out during the early 2000s, which had more kind of, edgy, adult, mature, we'll say more R-rated content than their normal line of comics. They pretty much ended. Um, they pretty much ended the line more or less, except for like Punisher Max, and then occasionally I think they tried to do a Deadpool Max. I don't think Deadpool Max really caught on, but yeah, and occasionally they'll still do a Punisher series, a Punisher like mini series under the Max imprint or whatever, but they don't have a whole line of comics or anything like that anymore. Um, so yeah, so this guy is Barracuda. Now here's a really interesting thing. On this cover, this person with the blonde hair is colored to look like a white person, but on the inside of the comic, the character is clearly a black person, which is pretty odd. I just think, how does that happen? How does that happen? How does that get past the editors? Okay, so anyway, the story is written by Garth Ennis, who was the main writer of the Punisher Max series, and the artist is Gordon Parlov. Okay, so here we go. So basically, hey, ad for Spider-Man 2. See the all-new extended cut, and um, so basically, Barracuda is taking the job to protect this South American dictator or something like that, and he's hooking up with his buddy 50. So here's 50. 50 is clearly somebody who was born male but dresses as a female now. And to help him out with his job, all right? And here he goes. They talk about how much 50's changed. He says, da, 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 da. Yeah, I'm the same. He says, he remembered your ass. Yeah, but I was the same nigga I was 20 years ago, except for a couple of minor adjustments. You, shit, 50, all bets are off. Know what I'm saying? And then 50 says, I ain't changed that much, because I used to be the badass motherfucker. Now I'm a badass bitch. Hiss. Okay? All right. So they're like, hey, whatever, it's all good. Now, we have this bit here where these guys pretty much explain the situation with the dictator and with some mobsters and about how there may or may not be a coup. All right? So, Barracuda and 50 get to the dictator's mansion. Dictator is actually attracted to 50. This is the dictator's wife. It's a dude. Ha ha ha. And here's an ad where you can start the Amazing Spider-Man DVD. Get your offer today, kids who shouldn't be reading this fucking comic book to begin with. All right. So here's this little kid who's hanging out at the mansion. I think they've captured this kid, and he's a hemophiliac, but he's next in line. Ad for Spider-Man 3. Everybody, everybody loved Spider-Man 2. Everybody was disappointed in Spider-Man 3. Anyway, Barracuda's sitting there talking to the wife, lawyer, some other people, and the disgusting thing is over. Excuse me. And he's basically talking about, hey, we can come up with a plan where all of us get over. He's like, y'all with me so far? Just checking. You can check out his grill here. His grill has the F word on it because that's just how crazy he is. Basically, he's laying out the plan where, hey, we'll let the dictator get killed. You know, you, the wife, can take over. We'll continue to let the drug shipments and whatnot come in and out. And you, lawyer guy, will keep a front on for us. Here we see the dictator after he's had some nice time with 50. Here's 50 doing his thing. Or actually, he's relieving himself. But 50 hears something. Motherfucking AK, full auto. And here comes the rebels. Alright. Death to the tyrant. Is camera picking this up? Oh, there's so much glare. Okay. Oh. Haha. Here's an ad for One More Day. Very controversial Spider-Man story. Basically, for people who don't know, Spider-Man was married to Mary Jane for, oh God, roughly 20 years. Yeah, in the comics or in real life, since the late 80s till right around this time. Around this point, the editors decided that they didn't want Spider-Man to be married anymore because it makes him look like too old. So, but they didn't want the character to have a divorce either. So they decided to say that the marriage just never happened. So the way they came up with it is they decided to have Spider-Man make a deal with the devil to save the life of Aunt May. And the devil would, Mephisto is Marvel's devil type character, or at least one of them. And the bargain was, well, I'll save your aunt's life, but you must give me your marriage. Because I guess Peter Parker and Mary Jane's love is so pure, or some nonsense of that sort. But anyway, it was a very controversial story because, like I had, you have the good guy making deals with the devil, and it works out. It works out, So, like I said, very controversial. Anyway, back to the violence. So we have the big shootout, right? And then more violence and gore. Ah, an ad for Fallen Sun, the death of Captain America. Captain America was dead in the regular comics right around the exact same time. This art is by Michael Turner. I think Michael Turner might have passed away like not very long after this. Maybe a year later, something like that. A year or two later, we'll say. I think he had cancer. I think that was it is. Anyway, more violence, more politically correct language. Okay. Here's Barracuda taking on the rebels from where he's at. Here's 50 sniping from using a sniper rifle from inside. And then they have to save the boy. The boy's a hemophiliac. And it's like you can get the slightest scratch and he might bleed to death. So Barracuda comes and stands in front of him and gets hit a few times. 50 comes out to see how he is. World War Hulk. Okay. Then here's the dictator coming out after all the trouble's over. Cut the vermin down like dogs. All right. And then here's a mob guy. The mob guys watching all this going down. I'm like, what's going on? And the other mob guys are like, don't worry about it. We're going to move along to plan B. Okay. All right. Ad for Old Spice. And then that's it. Comics Collectors Live is the ad on the back page. All right, so that's it. Actually, a pretty good comic book. Well paced, lots of action, lots of dark humor. It's pretty funny, but as you can see, there's lots of gore. It's a lot of politically incorrect humor, lots of vulgarity, some racial slurs get thrown around and stuff like that. But interesting in a good way. So anyway, that's it. Thank you very much for watching. You guys have a good day.